So they had me start reading a series of books. And they were interesting. Starting to learn about other people's success and how they had done it. Starting to learn about the power of the mind and the way you think and the things you say. Well, I'd been to church enough. My mother dragged me to church enough. I had heard Proverbs preached over and over. As a man thinketh, so is he. I had heard Proverbs 19, death and life are in the power of the tongue. And preachers preaching it. And I'm sitting in the back going, man, I'll be glad when this is over so we can get outside. But I'd heard it. I didn't believe it. What good is it to hear it if you don't believe it? Then my self-image I noticed it started to feel good. I didn't have to lie as much. People that lie don't have good self-images. I stopped lying. That was a good first start for me. I stopped kind of trying to be everybody's friend and everybody I started to get comfortable with myself. And you sure enough can tell somebody when you're around if they got a poor self-image because they're constantly fighting something to let you know. And that's the sign that they're just not comfortable yet because we don't need to let you know. The most important thing is that we know. It's not what you know, it's what we know. And anybody that's trying to prove something to you, they try to really prove it to themselves. Win yourself over here. And start with your own self-image by what goes into your mind and to your heart. How you think about yourself, what your reading program is. Next, he said, you got to overcome some obstacles. He said, there's 3 things that are going to happen to people. He said, it's the hardest thing for them to ever get over. The first is death, because the mourning process, sometimes we don't quite understand. Now, not grandma that was 98. We know grandma lived a great life. We're talking about sometimes maybe the senseless death, vehicular death, stray bullet, whatever that looks like, or some type of unforeseen death. And it's like, oh my God, it was terrible. Second thing he said is going to happen to people is something medically is going to happen, catastrophically. Loss of limb, heart attack, debilitating. It's hard for people to overcome. And the third is divorce. Depending upon, what happened, did someone cheat? Was there money involved? What the complexity of it, kids, time spent, pain, anger. Hey, you ready? Shania went through all 3 of those in 18 months. Institutionalized in Shepherd Pratt Hospital, 2007 for depression, 72-hour observation. They keep asking me, am I going to kill myself? Dr. Bruce stood right there with me and said, it's part of the journey, brother. We got to go through some pain to get to where we want to be. He says, time for you to get all this finally out of you. Lost my mother, had an affair, cheated on my wife. What a scumbag of a man I was. Thank God I'm healed and I don't do that no more. Sad case of a man. But you think you got to not only destroy your family, but somebody else's. God, I'm so upset at myself over that. But yet, Dr. Bruce said everything you must go through to get to that mantle of life. Now I stand before you, Shania, with bone cancers I was just diagnosed 30 days ago. But I'm still an overcomer. Why? Because greater is in me than he that is in this world. Yes, life is coming by to sit on your doorsteps. Yes, life is going to come by at the most unopportune time. But will you get up? Will you stand up? And will you march forward? I'll be watching. We'll be looking for you. Because there's few of us on the road. The road is wide, but there's few of us that want to travel down it. Because here's why. This takes work. It takes work. But boy, is it worth it. It's exceptional to be financially free at 65. It's exceptional to be mentally free, debt-free, life-free. Because I paid the price and I put in 40 years of work. I just wish Dr. Bruce could have helped me sooner. But it took 12 years of our mentorship for me to start to believe in that man because I didn't trust nobody. My father told me this. He said, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Well, I guess so. You beat my mother. You're an alcoholic. Look how you're acting. You certainly don't want anybody in the community to know. Second thing, we don't talk to strangers. They don't need to know our business. Man, this was bizarre counseling to be getting at 13. And we don't trust nobody from the government. Now that one really bothered me. Out of everything else. I remember going back to my grandma saying, Grandma, Dad said this, I'm a little troubled. He said, well, the thing about the government is, he said, the government came in and took a lot of our farmland and some things happened. And your father was very young and he took it very hard and he was farming the land. He had to quit school. And so I could understand that. But here's the point I'm trying to make. You see, he was imposing his belief system on me. And the thing that I didn't need is I didn't need his baggage. But he didn't know any better. He was dumping his dumping his trash truck up to me every night, dumping it in. But he put some good stuff in there. But here's what I'm trying to tell you. Life is coming by. So if you write this down and you remember this, it'll help you. All of us are in 3 stages of our life. We're either going into something, in the middle of something, or coming out of something. But you can believe this. Something's going to be going on all the time. And the worst thing that we say is why? The question to ask when you go through a struggle is not why. The question to ask is what? What am I supposed to learn from this? What behavior have I exhibited that's got me here? What could I have done differently? See, the why question is the pity question. Why me? Why not you? Who do you think you are that you shouldn't struggle? Tell me what station in life you believe you're at that you shouldn't have a tornado come by. You shouldn't have a tsunami. You shouldn't have starvation. Why? Who are you? I read every day about this happening around the world, just how blessed I am not to be in those situations. If you've ever traveled abroad, this is the only country in the world where the poor people are overweight. Travel the world and you'll see what I mean. It's the only country in the world where there's abundance and people die more rapidly by what they put in their mouth. Native Americans have the highest diabetes rate in the United States. If you see the way my mother would cook, you'd understand why my cholesterol level was so high. My mother thought Crisco went on everything, including my hair. Yeah, I've seen her use a 5-pound can of Crisco in a week. Behavior, lifestyle. The next thing Dr. Bruce said is you got to change your self-discipline. He said, right now, you're out of discipline. You have no discipline in your life. Your mother and father can't discipline you. You won't self-discipline yourself. The only person who's going to discipline you is called the state of Maryland. And they will discipline you if you don't listen. Get the right amount of sleep. Get up in the morning. Stop staying up all night. Have a productive day. Get out of bed. Just discipline myself. So here's my question for you. Why don't you have your goals written down? Why won't you write your goals down?